Winter is upon us. Storm Garraway on its way. Cold and flu season has set in, hasn't it? Many of us will be reaching for decongestant nasal sprays for some light relief. I wonder if you can see those here on the desk in front of us. However, new findings today by ITV News and IPSOS, the polling company, reveal that 1 in 5 nasal spray users are exceeding the 7-day usage limit. Did you even know that there was a 7-day usage limit? And that means that up to 5.5 million people in the UK are at risk of dependency.
Well, as a result of this investigation, the Royal Pharmaceutical Society is calling for much clearer packaging on the outside of the box and obviously on the paperwork inside. And joining us now is Charlotte Johnson, morning Charlotte, who says that she's been addicted to decongestant nasal sprays for, get this, 23 years. She started using them when she was a little girl. And today she finds herself using them at least 8 times every day. And pharmacist Sanjeev Panesar is here as well. We'll speak to you in a second.
Good morning, both of you.
So how old were you when you first used the spray?
I must have been about 7 or 8.
Well, you had a cold or something?
Yeah, it started off with a cold, and I just couldn't stop.
What? Not because it gives you any kind of high. When we say addiction, we don't mean that you're getting some kind of buzz out of it. It's just that kind of straight away it cleared your nose up for you, so you could breathe better.
Yeah, it was so open. It's such a fresh feeling, and then I got addicted to that kind of feeling of it, and
so you carried on using it?
Yeah, now I've got this rebound congestion. And
so that started when you were 7 years old.
Yeah.
You are now
30.
And so for 23 years you have been using your decongestant spray every day, pretty much?
Every day.
What happens if you don't use it?
I haven't been in a position where I won't use it.
What's the longest time you've gone without using it?
Maybe like 12 hours.
Oh. Because you see some people who have got the same problem say that if they try and stop using it, they feel bunged up because they've become physically, it's not emotionally, but physically dependent on it.
Is that what happened to you in the 12 hours you didn't use it?
Yeah. So you feel like you're blocked up with mucus and stuff, but there's no mucus. It's just...
It's the reaction to all the use of the spray. It's irritated the linings of the nose.
Did your parents, when you were given it, because presumably you were given it at the age of 7 rather than went into a chemist and bought it, did they know that there was a 7-day advisory limit on using it?
No.
So would you now, if you, as an adult, would you know that if you go into a chemist?
No.
So you think that that's a warning that's not clear, that there should be a limit on it, or that you could become dependent on it?
Yeah, and I mean, on the bottles it says don't use for X amount of days, but it doesn't say why.
No. It just is almost like a suggestion, you feel.
Yeah.
Sanjeev, what's going on here physically? Once the pattern's been set and people have been using it for, say, let's say for the sake of argument, a month, what's happening to their nose?
So, like Charlotte said, when you first use a nasal spray, it gives you that relief, so it helps constrict the blood vessels and the inflammation in the nasal passages to help increase that airflow and make it breathe easier.
And they're great.
Exactly.
They're great when you've got a cold.
But then what happens is that why that restriction for 7 days is there is your body can get used to that quite quickly, and then what happens is you need more of that spray to get that relief. And essentially, what happens then is your body overcompensates by creating great inflammation. So when you stop using it, overcompensates, more inflammation, more congestion, you feel like you need to use the spray again to get that relief, and it's a vicious cycle.
And how long does that overcompensation, where you feel stuffed up, even though you haven't got any infection of any kind, it's because of the overuse, how long does that last for?
Well, it's quite quick in terms of that's where there's a restricted limit of 7 days generally, because actually that's where then it can start going into that vicious cycle.
No, what I mean is once you've fallen into that cycle and you think, oh, I've got to use the spray again because I'm all blocked up. If you didn't use the spray, if somebody handcuffed your hands behind your back and you couldn't, how much longer would it take for those symptoms to go away?
So I think, like in Charlotte's example, you might find that if you're in that situation where that inflammation's there a bit more chronically, it might take a week or so for your body to kind of start healing and getting back to that normality, where it can take longer, up to a month. Every case is individual.
So you've got to go cold turkey?
I wouldn't recommend going cold turkey because that'd be quite uncomfortable for patients to experience that congestion again. So there's different techniques that you can use to wean off that, and different medication and other options that you can do to help with that relief through that weaning off process. So it's really important you talk to your pharmacist, your GP, to kind of come off that weaning protocol effectively.
And the thing is that you're not alone, Charlotte. I think people watching might think, my God, this is an unusual case to become addicted for this long. But there are a lot of people, aren't there, in Charlotte's position, Sanjeev?
100%. I think the really important thing here is to remember medicines have the power to heal and help, but they also have the power to harm.
Yes.
And it's really important that you get to your medicines. The medicines are available from any retail outlet, generally, some of them.
But do you think stronger warnings should be put on packaging and given by pharmacists?
100%. That's what the Royal Pharmaceutical Society have called for. That's what the National Pharmacy Association and myself are requesting as well, because we support that message. Definitely, there needs to be that greater awareness and labelling on packaging, and for the public to be aware that, you know, there's
in the meantime, there's hope for Charlotte. If she comes off this in a measured, a calculated way, with advice from her doctor and her pharmacy, she can come off it.
And you do have a specialist who's giving you that pathway, aren't you?
Yeah, it's taken a long time, though.
Yeah, but you're just nervous to start it because of this feeling you get where you feel bunged up.
Yeah, it's just abnormal to me, you know.
Have you used it this morning?
Yeah, probably about 3 times already.
3 times already? It's only 9:15.
I know.
Good luck, and thank you
you
for speaking out about it. I think it's really important. I think most people don't know that there is this limit and wouldn't know what happened if you went beyond it. But you are a salutary tale, and good luck with your own...
Thank you so much.
It's strange to say recovery from decongestant sprays, but
I'll get there.
That is what it is. Thank you both very much indeed. You can see more on that on ITV News throughout the day, and the Consumer Healthcare Association said nasal decongestant sprays are indicated for the short-term relief of symptoms and should only be taken as needed and for no longer than 7 days. The patient information leaflet, which accompanies all nasal sprays, outlines the risks of taking the medication for longer than its indicated use. So if you read it, that's what it'll tell you, but you've got to read it.
Well, that's the point. I mean, how many of us actually, when we buy over-the-counter medicines, read the paperwork inside? I know I usually don't.
Thank you both very much.